Alright guys, we got our drive shaft length measured. So with the suspension drooped out from the back of the seal to the center of the yoke on the rear end is 55 inches. And with the truck on the ground, same measurement, is 54 5/8. So only about 3/8 of a difference from it drooped out and compressed. And obviously this is a T56 LS, so it's 31 spline output shaft. And the U-joint cup is, let's go measure that real quick. I believe it's like 1 1/8, but let's make sure. And I'm pulling measurements on my trusty measuring tape here. Let's see, cup size on this bad boy. Make this where you can see it. Pulling a measurement, center to center. And so pulling a measurement, or I'm sorry, pushing. I'm pulling a measurement right at 1 1/8. If I push the measurement, it's a little bit, about 3/16. So I'm gonna do some research real quick. That measurement is accurate. Clearly want to have that accurate, so when I order a drive shaft it fits. So this thing's it's actually about than the factory drive shaft. Yes, it would probably be less to just get this one cut, but right there I had a transmission leak and it looked like it was leaking through the yoke, and this thing has a rubber balancer built onto it, and obviously I don't want to deal with those issues if this thing decides to come apart. It's not really designed for, you know, banging 6 gears and all that stuff, and it's also got a dent in it. I don't know if I did that when it's in there or anything like that. So clearly I'm not going to be using that one because I'd rather have a brand new drive shaft on my brand new transmission with my brand new clutch that I spent a lot of money for. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's kind of what I wanted to get accomplished tonight. As far as you know, I got the transmission mocked up in the truck, figured out what I got to do for a drive shaft. Now I've got to take the transmission back out and drill a hole through my floor to see where the shifter is actually going to line up at, and then decide from there if I'm going to do a remote shifter, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to, just because I feel like it's not going to be far enough back for me where I'm wanting it to land. So let me just show you while I'm got the truck down, well, sort of down where I can at least get into it. I'm gonna flip. All right, so in the truck, this is where I'm trying to get the shifter to lay out. Okay, my buddy has a 3D printer, and I'm thinking about getting him to like actually print me a gated plate for this. Just because I think it'd be cool. I drive a lot of R8s, Lamborghinis, and stuff like that, and they all have gated shifters in their manual transmission cars, and I think it'd be cool to have that in here. So I'm gonna get with him whenever I get this all said and done with. So obviously I'm gonna lose my cup holders, my ashtray, and all this stuff for now, which not a big deal. I'll probably just leave the whole console out, maybe, possibly, it just depends on how I'm feeling at that time. And then get everything where I want it here, and then deal with the console afterwards. Just because I know that's gonna require some time and stuff like that. I mean, I've got a 6-disc CD changer. I'll never use it. I've got a double in, so I'm thinking about putting something cool here. Not sure what yet or anything like that. Something really cool. Well, it was cool to me, okay, but a lot of people thought I was cheesy and corny. But I had like this 1990 Honda Accord. It had a full JDMH 22 swap, and where the clock was on the dash, the clock didn't work, and I was like, you know what? I was like, that'd be cool to put something there like that lights up, like a shift light or something like that. And actually, my car was it had VTEC, so what I did was I actually made a negative of a sticker that said VTEC. And then put that over a piece of plexiglass, cut it out the size of the clock, put it in there, and I actually wired it to my VTEC solenoid. So every time the car went into VTEC, or every time it hit lift or whatever, the light would come on. And on the dash, it would say VTEC in red, and I thought that was cool when I was young. I was like, yeah, I did that, you know, just thinking I was cool as shit with it. So I'm not real sure what to do about it. You know, I could do something stupid like, hey, time to shift, or shift, you fucking idiot, or something like that. I'm not sure. Or I'm actually going to be doing a Starlight headliner in this truck, so I may just, you know, figure something out to do with that. I don't know really where I'm going with this, but it's just something cool to do with this spot that will never be used, you know. Who uses CDs? So yeah, that's where we're at. I gotta get the transmission back out of the truck at this point, and take my seats out, take my console out, do whatever I gotta do to get access to the hump, and cut a hole in the floorboard for the shifter. So whenever I get to that point, I will definitely get back on here and get another video going, showing how I did that and what I did, and if I decide to do a remote shifter, I'll let you know what I order and how much further back I want it and all that good stuff. That's going to take some tinkering around. So I'm going to quit yapping now, because I know I tend to do that a lot. I mean, you know, I'm out here by myself, so I'm not an expert, but I like to, you know, give myself advice. So I talk to myself a little bit. Anyways, so all right, I'm gonna stop yapping. So today we got the transmission mocked up in the truck. We figured out what we got to do with the cross member. I don't think that's gonna be a big deal. I have a welder. I can get some angle iron. That's really not gonna be a problem, I don't think. And my buddy actually is really good at welding. So now, okay, so we got that. We got the drive shaft length measured. I showed you how to do that from the center of the cup, center of the U-joint cup on the rear yoke to the output shaft seal on the transmission, which just so happens that the output shaft is flush with that. So that's where I measured for my drive shaft length. And I know they say do it on the ground. I did one on the ground, and I also did one with the suspension fully drooped out. There's only 3/8 of a difference in the measurement. So there should be a little bit of give in that, the people that I'm getting make the drive shaft anyway. So I'll let them know, and they should hopefully get that to me fairly quick. That's kind of why I wanted to get this done today, so I could get that ordered and get it on the way. So when I go to, you know, put this thing in gear, I can actually drive it. I also have to get fluid. I think I'm just going to go ahead and order Tremec manual transmission fluid, just because, you know, how manufacturers are with their fluids. I know it doesn't matter. Fluid is fluid, oil is oil, transmission fluid is transmission fluid. But at the same time, I want to stay true to Tremec, and, you know, if something ever that goes bad, I can be like, yeah, you know, I put Tremec fluid in it. So I'm probably going to order Tremec fluid for it. It takes 4 quarts of manual transmission fluid. So I'm gonna get that ordered. I got my clutch line, my fittings. I went over that in another video about changing my master cylinder and everything like that. And I'm gonna have a recap video of basically everything that I did. And I'm gonna try to get as many pictures of everything that I can while I'm doing it, so there's plenty of information in the video to help anybody that's trying to do a swap later on or anything like that. So stay tuned for it. I'm super pumped about getting this thing going with this transmission in it, getting it finally on the dyno and seeing what it actually makes at the wheels is going to be pretty exciting too, because this truck has never made it to the dyno due to transmission failures after transmission failure. So other than that, guys, I guess I'll catch you on the next video, and hopefully we'll be getting a little bit closer to getting this thing on the road and get those gears, just to shifting those gears, you know. It's going to be interesting for sure. I'm not sure how much I'm going to like it, but it's going to be interesting for sure. And I'm definitely going to have feedback videos of everything that I've done and how I like it and how it drives and all that good stuff. This thing is low to the ground. It already kind of rides like poop, which, I mean, what can you expect from a 6,000 pound truck that is slammed to the ground? I can make suspension mods later on down the future if I decide to, or whatever. But right now I'm pretty content with the way it's coming, and everything's kind of going the way I wanted to. Like I said, hopefully I'm gonna get the clutch. Tomorrow evening I will probably get the clutch in the truck, because there's a bunch of measurements and stuff I have to do. I actually have to put the bell housing on the engine, measure for clearance and air gaps between the clutch discs and stuff like that, just to prevent premature failure of the McLeod twin disc street clutch that I ordered and paid a lot of money for. So we want to take care of that, obviously. And the way you have to do that is you got to spend a little bit more time installing, your parts and paying attention to how they go in and paying attention to the manufacturer specs and stuff like that. So it goes in right, and you follow those specs to make sure that everything works correctly. Other than that, though, I'll catch you on the next video, I guess.